The Outland Cup.
And this is going to be hilarious.
You had to beat And just like that line from the start of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, then he disappeared in a poof of logic.
Yeah. So this is fun. They should probably have more Outland Cups. Not because the rewards are interesting, but the gameplay's not there. And I put this here.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had this... I already talked about the Blue Arc event and being like, okay, the events keep things being fresh and coming around naturally. So I understand the point of the events, and I quite like the current rate of time walking. But the Outland Cup fucked off. And it's not coming back until July 2025.
Sorry. Okay, so here's like the difference. Earlier, we were talking about is something, naturally temporal, such as the Olympics in a certain year, or, whatever event in your city or whatever it was, right? Where it's like, no, this is a thing that happened in the world. That's why it happened then. As opposed to something where it feels artificially dosed out. And this is an example, I think, of feeling artificially dosed out, where, I look at this and I definitely think, like, what is the utility?
I enjoy that we're getting come up. It's had to be there, cry about it. You weren't there. You don't get the fun experience. Yeah, this is why I wanted to bring this up, especially after that, because it is that fun thing of...
Well, it's about whether it feels arbitrary or not.
Yeah, it's not about the principle, it's about the actual outcome.
Yeah.
And what I was saying about like the events feeling like natural, I actually do feel like if this was something that was very much a big month-long experience that was, this is only happening once, let's go, I'd be like, oh, kind of fucking sucks, but I get the vibe. But it was just kind of something that was there. And it's coming back. It's just not coming back for a year and a half because, and this is the main problem, they're spacing these cups out by 3 months for some reason.
Yes, that's insane.
And I feel like the game has been so much better with time walking, which is a recurring event, now that we get one every other week between dungeon events.
Do you remember when time walking used to be rare?
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah, time walking all the time is like a much better experience for us because almost every time, like, because we don't raid for all that long because we get ahead of the curve reasonably quickly whenever we actually bother to log in and everyone bothers to log in, I should say. And we get this experience where we go, okay, well, we get to like do time walking raids to keep things a bit special. That I feel quite nice. I'm like, we like actually enjoy that. Like we were, we didn't have enough numbers on Thursday, but on Monday we're going to go do Firelands for the crack, and that'll be fun. And it wasn't that long ago we did Old War.
Yeah,
and you're like, that feels like a nice pace, a nice like change of pace, a nice pace for things to change. And I'm just like, man, it'd be very nice if this weren't every 3 months. I don't really get why it's not every month. And then there's a little bit of like, well, maybe they want to keep it feeling a little bit special, but with no indication of that or nothing special feeling about it. You're like, you can do one of these.
If it's
like
once a month, then each will appear twice a year.
Yeah, and that feels a bit more like kind of reasonable for what it seems to be. And then I kind of was like, well, we kind of actually sort of answered a lot of these questions earlier.
Yeah, we did.
But like, yeah, it's like, yeah, they have a purpose and they have a point. But
it's like to take the most extreme example with like Scarab Lord, which I'll just use because I think it's the most extreme example of this. Reduce the thing to the point of absurdity to make a point. Like it was naturally like that because it's the opening of the Scarab Gate. Yeah, there you go. Whereas with these, it's just, when does Blizzard put them there? Or at the Trial of Style.
Yeah, like, that's a bad example of that should be all the time. Or not all the time, that should be much more regular. Like,
yeah, the Trial of Style is like really silly. Why is there not a quarterly Trial of Style? Or because the thing with the Trial of Style is it's got different themes. So you're safe doing way more Trials of Style as long as you just have more themes. Have more rewards. You're certainly cooking up enough to do the trading post. So take some of that trading post energy, throw it into the Trial of Style. Yeah. So, I think in this, it's more like access to a feature. I mean, it depends because it's just like with the difficulties and stuff, like it's fully just like, this is more just a game design what would be the right word? This is just content spacing, essentially, where if it feels absurdly far apart, then to people it feels arbitrarily, like it's so far apart it doesn't make sort of intuitive sense. Where, you know, if this is something IRL, you know, we're like, oh, it's the yearly thing.
Makes
That's
sense.
like fine because it's a sort of IRL,
People
right?
have to put the effort together to make it
But, like-
happen again.
Yeah, but like this is just happening in Blizzard's game. So I mean, this is very different to like a Corcoran Warwolf or anything like that. And yeah, the Trial of Style is definitely the you know, sort of sister thing to that.
There's no logic in it being, just because it's not like it's a load of stuff you're really horribly going to miss out on. It's just like, this feels like it doesn't really make sense to not be a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
I
think,
looked at this because I wasn't sure to run this bit, and I looked. I was like, okay, what do you mean 2025? What do you mean? Like, here we have our, and it's just a natural system of them rotating them. You're like, we have made game content, and it will in the same way we're like, well, people should be able to, like, you know, the idea of time walking's great because all the stuff's lying dead, and you're like, yeah, well, you can do this again in about a year and a half. Why? Because it was one every 3 months, and there's a load. Like, could do a bit quicker.
But Matt, my red scarf.
I mean, if it were the case that this were substantially more limited and felt like it was and was described as such, and all, sure. Doesn't feel that way.
It's a lot about framing, a lot about feel.
Yeah, it's all about outcome.
Yeah,
And it's all about outcome and vibes, as opposed to anything else. I am just becoming the nothing matters except the ultimate vibes kind of person.
there is.
But Matt, my Corcoran Werewolf, fuck your Corcoran Werewolf. You should have been there in Siege of Orgrimmar like I was.
You had to be there. You know, it was something else.
It was actually something
special.
else. Having Evil Eye of Galacrus as a Red Paladin was sick as fuck.
Actually, no, tell you what. You didn't suffer through Dark Shaman's trash. You don't get a mount.
You know, good point, actually.
Do you remember Dark Shaman's trash? If you weren't there and you had to be there, at reasonable tuning. My God, Dark Shaman's trash was something. Basically, you just had to clear the whole front of Orgrimmar.
the whole, just the whole valley, like the whole fucking valley, a few at a time, because they weren't too bad, but then you had the named NPCs in the buildings that would delete you. Oh man, the amount of times I
love all the comments that have been held for review.
yeah.
Oh, Dark Shaman's trash. But hey, the Dark Shaman's set was pretty cool.
My shaman friend got that the first time we killed him.
Did he not have it?
Yeah.
See the Shaman
Yeah,
friend?
yeah.
There we go. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was the shaman friend who got it the first time he killed him. I was like, "Whoa, okay. I didn't know that thing existed, and I then checked out and was like, almost no one has them. Like, nice.
No Throne of Thunder. Well, good raid. Good raid.
Shame I wasn't there. I could never play it.
That's a real shame. Matt. You had to be there
I'll have to wait for Pandaria Classic. Fuck.
over those 14 months where you could have just boosted it for 10,000 gold.
After, yeah.
With your WoW token wasn't in yet.
Yeah.
That was the next expansion, and you know that was a really interesting time. We essentially had the
Skill issue should have been alive. Yeah. Just, you know, being born in 2014, man, life sucks. Like, life sucks.
oh, I've forgotten the name of the add-on. It was basically the pre-made group finder, but an add-on. I've completely forgotten its name. Oh, it's what people like used to use to organize stuff before the pre-made finder came in. God, I've completely forgotten its name. But yeah, that was a sort of community solution that, you know, came before Blizzard actually did the official open. Yeah, there was Open Raid. Was Open Raid the in-game add-on, or was Open Raid the website?
That sounds like a website to me.
OQ. Yeah, Open Raid and OQ. Oh man, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I know, Matt, you wouldn't understand because I had to just be there, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, you weren't there. You weren't.
I don't think I played that patch at all. I think I joined the game. I think I played Miss at launch for a bit and then played again when Siege came out. I think.
That
can't be right.
I think I came back at 5-1. Because for me, Mists came out first semester of university, so I was too busy drinking whiskey. And, the normal, you're too busy losing weight, drinking copious amounts of alcohol, and being a bit depressed.
Yeah.
The first year university experience.
Yeah, because it was the start of my second year, so I had nothing to do.
League of Legends?
Yeah. League of Legends and also drink and also be depressed. Oh, man. Good times.
Good times. Yep. Those were times. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's the cups. FOMO is being used against people. Blizzard are temporally gatekeeping me and Matt. We will now have to wait. And this is unacceptable. People who exist in the year 2025 right now are playing the Outland Cup and we can't.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Oh.
That's all right. I'm actually... No. No, let's not think about going to the future.